Welcome to the Diary of a First-Time Founder, my visual series where I document what it looks like to rebuild my dream life and build the dream business that supports it in real time. I'm Jocelyn, the founder of Maximize Money, where I teach women how to confidently invest in the stock market and grow their money with confidence. And a few months ago, I was working in corporate doing everything right, and then I got laid off for the second time. That's 2 layoffs and I'm not even 40 yet. So now I'm rebuilding everything in real time. Some weeks will feel productive and some weeks will feel messy. But I want this series to be an honest look at what it takes to really build the life you say you want. So if you are rebuilding, pursuing a dream, or trying to create a life that feels more aligned, I hope this series reminds you that you are not alone. Now let's get into part 2 of this series where I talk about the mindset that is needed to do this work, because it is hard and it's something that requires you to shift into a new identity. And I'm learning that in real time. So let's get into it. Was a senior product marketing manager for a SaaS company before I got laid off. So like many of us, it kind of impacted me, but it's also just another reminder of why I do what I do. Like, having your financial stability not be attached to your job is key. I'm not telling anyone to just run and quit their jobs, but as we see, these layoffs are not slowing down, and just things are always shifting, and I don't think it's ever going to get to a perfect place. So it's like you always want to be thinking about how to use your money, whether you run a business, work a job. That's what I'm a fan of. It's like, how do you turn your active income into something that can sustain you despite what's happening? And so that was really okay, cool. So that's ultimately kind of why I do what I wanted to do, and I just wanted to make sure that we set up time to help you kind of understand my story, and I want to go over like what I envision and obviously get your feedback, and then obviously the notes that you share were helpful, and just to make sure that we end this on the same page and that there's some alignment there.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. I can share a bit about myself, like why I reached out, all the things. So
I do want to kind of walk you through what I envision and obviously get your initial thoughts. I kind of shared a little bit of it via email, but I decided to kind of shift it based on your response, because I think the investing component is very important and I'm very passionate about it. But before you even get to investing, I think there's a level of organization that you have to do with your money. There's some mental blocks, there's a lot. And I just think about my own journey, how I didn't just wake up and start investing either. But I also don't want that to be an excuse for people to just wait until forever. And so I have something called the money reset. And essentially what I envision is simply like a 3-step approach to like organizing your money, reducing your financial stress, and investing. Because again, I'm always going to talk about investing with more confidence. And so really I pulled into the things that you highlighted, like these are mid to senior professionals, so they're likely high achieving. They are often, putting their energy into other things, their career, their family, and sometimes money becomes an afterthought, which makes total sense. Even for me, I don't have a big family, but I'm focused on all these other things. And so my goal with this 60-minute workshop, because you told me it could be between 45 and 60, is me really just talking for 40, leaving room for questions and answers, because people always have questions and answers. And then wrapping it up with the call to action for me, which would be my personal one-on-one, which is also called the money reset, where if somebody's like, okay, this was great and I actually do need to get my money together, I can hire you to do that. Yeah. And it's a one-on-one experience versus what I normally do are workshops, and they're specifically for investing and things like that. And so what I have at a high level for the workshop is sort of the part 1 is around sort of the reasons why you have financial stress. A lot of us don't realize, we feel disorganized with our money because we're not tracking it. A lot of people hate budgets. I do too, but I call it a spending plan. And also just thinking about the spending plan and how people only put the necessities on there, like your rent, your mortgage, your car note. No, you have to give the whole story so that you're making good decisions. Talking about that.
Then we'll review it. I'll review it with Allie. I I know she's already excited, but just hearing this, I'm really excited about this as well.
Okay.
I also will express that you are interested in consistently working with baddies in tech. I know as we are boosting up program even more, which is like yay for growth.
Yes.
We've been looking into doing like series.
Yes.
That's one thing we've been doing with our Discord community.
Closes. Feel free to interact in the chat. And also we will send out some follow-up materials. So everything you see here today, we'll make sure to share the supplemental resources. So just make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'm Lanisha Davis calling in from the Detroit office. I actually work in our B2B marketing. So all those beautiful ads that you see just for you on LinkedIn, powered by me and my team. And then I will let Sam and Chris introduce themselves before we dive in.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Sorensen. Just like Lanisha said, work at LinkedIn and our pricing org. I've been here for 4.5 years and just stoked to be here with y'all today and talk a little bit more how you can use LinkedIn to power what you're doing. We'll pass off to you, Pris.
Hi everyone, I'm Priscilla Mujaki and I am a creator manager here at LinkedIn. I've been working for the company for about 4.5 years, just like Sam. And basically, I empower a couple of creators based in the UK to really leverage LinkedIn from a content perspective and really have a strong presence.
Experiences in education, how do you turn that into actual content and turn it into community? Also creating content for your company page. And then lastly,
think about editorial pillars that can really help you for building that personal brand. So content paralysis usually comes from not having a clear framework. And I wanted to share with you those 4 pillars that can really help you to solve that issue. The first one is career. So it's about your milestone, your media moments, your roundtables, career advice. The professional journey has to be just shared honestly. And I would say that this segment is quite saturated on LinkedIn. So you have to make sure to bring your own perspective to make your career-related content stand out. So if I think about my career, for example, okay, I have a career in tech. Before LinkedIn, I used to work for Meta. But what maybe can make my professional milestone a bit more different than others is the fact that my tech journey comes from the fact that I initially have a background in journalism. And I also studied and lived in France before moving and starting my career in the UK. So all these elements already are ways to really personalize your professional journey, your career, which is really good because it's an easy way to start to share content on LinkedIn, but it can be saturated if you're not bringing your own perspectives here. So this is your way here to really singularize your content. The second pillar is leadership. This is your perspective as the company voice, if you're an SMB. This is where you share your big announcements, industry techs, what your organization stands for, really help us to understand your company or the company that you work for. The LinkedIn feed is very relevance based and not chronological. Basically, that means that the algorithm is not asking when did this go out. It's actually asking, is this worth someone's time? It's LLM powered, which means it reads the semantic meaning of your post, not just your keywords. And that's the reason why sometimes I think it's a waste of time to really have 10, 15 keywords on the post on LinkedIn. It's not relevant. What is really relevant is just the semantics, so the general idea. There's no need here to have a keyword of AI to make people understand that the post is about AI. The feed would understand it automatically. There are three signals that the feed really rewards. It's relevance to your audience, authentic value in your content, and quality conversations in the comments, as I said earlier. So if your post does all three, you don't need to game the feed here. You just need to show up with substance. You can.
Something I've gotten really intentional with is going for walks. Like, I think I used to like nearly kill myself and do workouts and stuff, but now I'm realizing that ultimately, babes, you just need to move your body. The girlies who said 7 to 10K steps a day were on to something because like it actually works. Like, I'm not saying I'm dropping weight like crazy, but I love being able to just clear my mind. Usually like the first maybe 15, 20 minutes, I'm not listening to anything. It's me and my thoughts, me and God. And then the remaining like 40 minutes, because I try to do 60 minutes every day, like I'm listening to a podcast or music or something like that. Because a whole 60 minutes with nothing is kind of crazy. But that's what I'm working toward. But this is a great way for me to like clear my mind, set intentions for the day, get some vitamin D, which is very important for us as we get older. And yeah, like I feel really good about it. So it's free. I just walk around my neighborhood. Sometimes I'll go to a park out here in Houston, but for the most part, girl, you have what you need to move your body. And it's just good mentally, emotionally, obviously physically, and spiritually. Being able to just sit and talk with God is something I'll never take for granted. So highly recommend walks daily. 7 to 10K steps, baby.
Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11, verses 28. Some of y'all think, the next level was supposed to feel easy. Like once God starts to, elevate your life, suddenly there's no pressure. There's no hard days. There's no challenges. No, don't work like that. Congratulations. God is about to take you to the next level. But the next level is going to require a stronger version of who? You. It's going to require a calmer version of you, a more disciplined version of you. And guess what? One thing that you're going to need at this next level is real rest. Not laziness, not, hiding from your responsibility, real rest. Because some of y'all have been running on that survival mode for way too long. You know it. I was doing it for years. Constant stress, constant noise, constant, pressure, constant overthinking. And eventually, if you never slow down mentally, if you never slow down emotionally and spiritually, you start making bad decisions because you're what? You're exhausted. You're human.
Up to and how we could potentially partner and work together, and because I'm very interested in improving the financial literacy of our people, primarily women, because I'm a mother of a 27-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I love what you're doing. So how about we start with introductions? Because I know we have 30 minutes.
And I love your glasses too. I keep saying. I was like, "Ooh, those are so cute."
A little bit about me. So I am an HR professional. I've been in HR my entire career, literally, and my purpose has always been on helping women and girls of color through thought leadership, fiscal investments, and philanthropy. And so I restarted my foundation.
A lot in common. My story is similar in the sense of the corporate world. Like I was working in marketing for well over a decade. I've touched every type. I've worked public sector, private sector. My most recent role was for a SaaS company. It provided marketing automation tools to other marketers, retail marketers, publishing marketers. I really enjoyed the work that I was doing. It was in product marketing. But then, of course, that 600K women, I was a part of that. This wasn't my first layoff. Actually, it was my second. And the first one is really what reminded me and showed me that, yes, you can work and work and work, but if you don't get serious about your money, you can end up in a situation where, again, a layoff happens, the company closes. Like, we just give so much power to like employers and don't ever take the time to think about, okay, like, where am I putting my money? Or am I just rushing to spend it as soon as it gets here? You know, am I letting lifestyle inflation eat up my check? You know, so a lot of that is what I talk about because it was something I lived. That first layoff really showed me that, okay, Jocelyn, you don't have your money where it needs to be. It's like you're working, but why are you laid off and you can't even pay your bills? Like, this is crazy. So that was a personal experience that I had that I'm just so grateful for. In the moment, it was very depressing because it was also the pandemic. It was 2020. Like, I couldn't go anywhere. But again, I was just so grateful. And I know that God really uses all experiences because now, like, as I serve my women, I do mostly workshops, I do speaking, I do like events, and I'm just very transparent with my story and my journey because a lot of women are afraid. Like, some people are just so afraid and it's so taboo to talk about money, like just in the Black community. So I'm like, I want to rip all of that off. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the debt. Let's talk about the saving, and let's make investing, like, let's normalize it. You know, we hear about real estate investing, but there's a component of, you know, stock market investing. Like, your money should be in multiple pots. And so that layoff really showed me that, like, okay, you need to put your money to work. So I bought my first home. It's now a rental property. Like, I started getting serious about investing. I started saving first and not saving last. A lot of people do that. I talk about that a lot in my content, and they're like, oh, you're right. Like, I usually do wait till the end. And I'm like, no, that needs to be priority. And it's not even just for a layoff. It's just, if you want to save for a trip, save for a house, like, make it exciting, you know, think about a milestone that you're going to be thankful you did that for. And over time, like, I just realized that most women were interested in the investing angle because it's like, okay, we hear a lot about the debt, the saving, like, we understand that, but investing still feels taboo. And we also recognize investing out of all of those are the only way that my money can truly grow with me. Otherwise, it's getting eat up. You know, your money loses your value. So I just started to focus on that at the top of this year, which is when you and I connected. And the response has been great. Like, I've done everything that I desire to do from a workshop. Like, I actually teach women how to invest. It's not like, here's what investing is and why it's so great. Like, no, we actually open accounts. We invest. Like, they see my portfolio. Like, I show them how to research. Like, I get them hands-on because it's easy to hand it off to someone else and get them to do it. But we don't recognize, like, financial advisors. Number one, they're limited with what they can share with you. Like, sometimes they have a limited list of investments. Number two, there's some fees associated. Like, it's not like they're doing this for free. And number three, you tend to still miss out on the education. Like, the education and the implementation leads to confidence. Otherwise, it's something you hand off. So I'm big on women having control over their money, having control over their investments. I'm never going to invest on their behalf. I'm a financial educator, not a financial advisor. And that's also a lot of my messaging. Because again, I don't want you to hand it off to someone. I want you to know exactly what you're investing in, why you're investing it, and when you need to make adjustments, if ever. So that's my story. It's just real life experience, challenges with my own money, and using that to essentially tell my story. And it turned into like,
trade? Do you trade?
I do not. Long-term investor over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. So what's the typical, I guess, avatar of the people that come to your classes, and what's been kind of your success, your success rates?
Yeah.
How do you define success?
Yeah. I work in marketing, so I have a few slides that actually address those things if you'd like to see them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Experience. A lot of women don't have that baseline understanding. Investing just wasn't normalized. And so for me, instead of just jumping into investing, like, I like to break it down into two parts. Part one is very much the foundation. We're understanding what the stock market is, how it works, beginner-friendly options, different accounts you need to know about, because a lot of women have the 401ks, the 403bs, but as we know, like, that can be taxed. That's often taxed when it's time to take the money out, when there's so many other tax-free avenues that you need to be diversifying your money in. So just taking the time to even explain that is something people are like, wait a minute, I didn't even know those things existed. And then obviously they take time, they do their research, they get comfortable with it, and then we come back for part two, which is again where we actually implement in real time. The accounts are being opened, well, just one account, because I don't want to overwhelm people. Just one investment, understanding how to research it, understanding the risk, what's in there, because it's like, I don't want you blindly investing in something because somebody else says to do it. You need to understand the expense ratios, understand what it's going to cost you, understand just all the things that nobody else really is discussing out loud. They're just telling you what to invest in. And then, of course, investing it live in real time. I'm big on action. There's enough information out there. At some point, you have to take the first step. You have to start. And so, obviously, I've talked about the different spaces that I've done these trainings in. And again, a lot of people lead with education, inspiration. I'm big on taking the first step. And it often fits into these different spaces. I did one with Microsoft. They had an ERG Black at Microsoft. So it wasn't just women, it was men and women, but I was okay with that. It went great. It went great. So I actually did the 2-part experience there. I think I have.
So it's great meeting you. I'm sure we'll be
Yes.
talking again. And if you can send me that deck, and I'll circle back with you, okay?
Sounds good. And I know